We're good. So
Let's welcome our next speaker, Jordan, speaking on Keep Chugging On.
So today I'd like to tell you about my previous year and some of the trials and tribulations I've gone through. And I'd like to tell you about the person that has helped keep letting me chug on throughout all this. So this was the beginning of 2015, January 6th to be exact. And I'm driving back from Oregon all the way up to Great Falls, Montana. And my mom was kind of nervous about me because I was leaving a few days early to go back to school, and she was just nervous about the roads and nervous about normal things that mothers should be nervous about. And I was excited because I was going to go on this retreat with Jake Clark. And we were going to go to Bozeman, and we were going to do some ice climbing and, get to play around in the snow before the start of the school, kind of get ready, get warmed up for school and everything. So we're heading down to Bozeman, and I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident, and we get to the place. It's called Lions Ridge. And this place will forever be ingrained in my mind because, so there I was coming down this hill on inner tubes, and it was getting pretty late at night, so things were starting to get frozen, it started to get a little slick. And the first run, I wasn't really confident on, so I was going down, and I'm like, okay, it's not okay. The second time, we go down in a whole train, and everybody's legs are wrapped around the person in front of us, and we have like 3 or 4 people just lined up on inner tubes. And we're all going down, and we kind of slip off the side, and we're like, whoa, let's not do that again. So we're going to call that the last run for today, for that night. And then I get all the way back up. I'm dragging my inner tube, and I'm sitting down on it. And I'm just like, oh, I'm tired, I'm done with today. And my friend comes up, and he pushes me. And I didn't want to go, so I was digging my feet in, and I was trying to stop myself from continuing going down. But I ended up flipping backwards, going down the hill, so I thought to myself, all right, I'll just ride it out. And it didn't end up pretty well. I remember going down, and the next thing, bam, I hit into a tree. I end up breaking 8 bones, cracking my vertebrae, and having a punctured lung. I was pretty lucky to be alive, actually. But I was rushed to the Bozeman Hospital, and I remember laying on the stretcher just knowing that lacrosse season was over for me. And it was heartbreaking. I didn't know what to do. I've never had a season robbed of me. This is my first season since 7th grade where I haven't been able to play lacrosse. And I just remember laying on that and all the pain that I was in, and a lot of things were going through my mind, but I just knew that this wasn't going to be easy, or whatever was going to happen wasn't going to be easy. So I end up going to the hospital. They give me pain meds. I go through all the normal things, and then I finally get checked out 3 or 4 days after, and I end up missing Monday and Tuesday of school. So, I'm not really happy about that. I'm not really healthy. I'm not really happy about anything that's going on in my life right now. But my mom came up, and she visited me for about a week, and she had to make sure that I was all right, and she had to make sure the boy was all right. And she told me before she left, she said, just keep on chugging on. So I told myself, I can handle this, just got to keep on chugging on. So I progressed through school. I'm not really doing good. Midterms come up. I'm failing most of my classes. I'm not doing really that well. And it soon becomes a downward spiral, and depression sets in. And I didn't know what to do. And this is very tough for me because I wanted to go back home. I didn't want to be in school anymore because my lacrosse season was taken away from me. Everything's been taken away from me. I don't want to be in Great Falls, Montana. I want to go back to Burns, Oregon. And this ends up going on, and it goes on, and I'm having to be pulled out of school for some sorts of reasons. And I was withdrawn from most of my classes. And I don't know what to do. I'm totally lost right now in my life. This depression set in. I'm not really sure where I'm going. I'm not sure where my life's going to lead me into. But my mom always told me, just keep chugging on. So I finally go to the doctors, and they said that I had a major concussion. This has been my second concussion, so I'm getting kind of worried about my head injuries. But I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to come back to school, be able to play lacrosse again, and complete this year. So I go through physical therapy, I go through some courses to kind of help with my emotions to get through my depression. And everything starts looking up, you know. I start going out, I start fishing, I start enjoying the little things like how I used to back home. And, you know, this recovery, this is all leading up into my summer job, into Fighting Fires. And Fighting Fires is one of the most craziest work experiences that I've ever been. This actually, throughout Fighting Fires, we didn't really have that busy of a season until the very end, until going into school. I was actually a week late for school this year because I got put on a fire and it burned up about 35 homes. It was a pretty serious fire. Over 100,000 acres of wildland forest were burned, you know, lots of property damage, lots of damage in general. But I was able to actually go up there and help out. We did a lot of house recoveries. We made sure that houses weren't going to burn down. And, you know, I was working, so I was feeling good. So I entered the school year feeling positive and feeling good. You know, I think everything that I've done to recover has actually been positive for me. You know, and so I get back to school and I'm nervous, you know. I missed last semester and I don't know what people are going to think of me. I'm very nervous about how people are going to view me and how people, you know, are going to see me, you know. This kid, you know, did he drop out? What is this kid, you know? What's he doing back here? Are you here visiting? Did you forget something here? I wasn't really sure what was going to go through my mind. But I remember what my mom told me. Just keep on chugging along. So I end up getting a 3.5 this last semester, and I was happy with my grades. You know, I brought them back to where I needed to be. And I'm back on course to where I want to be. And then lacrosse season starts up at the start of the semester. So we start full-fledged practice, and we start getting back into things. I was angry at my coach because we also got a new coach this year. This isn't the same coach that I had to deal with. This is a totally new guy. He doesn't understand me. Who is this guy, you know? I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I was mad, I was angry. But I called my mom up and I told her all my frustrations, the problems that I had with this guy, and she always told me, just keep chugging along. And that's what I did. And, you know, the beginning of the season was extremely rocky, and I didn't really know what the season was going to give me. But we ended up, this last weekend, we completed our lacrosse season, and we ended up going to tie, a three-way tie for second place in our conference. So that was amazing, being able to come back from a mostly losing record of 1-6 and working all the way back to 4-7 or 4-8. So I was, you know, at our last game in Western Washington, everybody was pissed off. Everybody was mad because we lost that game to tie for second place. But I was just standing there and I was happy, you know. I was filled with joy because I knew that I actually made it. I made a whole lacrosse season, and this has been a whole year. So just looking back at where I was a year ago to where I am now, you know, I'm happy. I made it. I'm back to where I am, where I was last year. I didn't know how well I was going to do with this season. I wasn't sure on how well that I was going to perform. You know, I'm still not to where I want to be, but that always leaves room for improvement and hope. You know, I want to start running. I want to get slimmer. You know, that's one of my goals, and we're going to have a challenge with the whole lacrosse team to see who can lose the most weight. So that's a pretty positive goal that we have in mind. But I talked to my mom after the game, and I told her, you know, I'm happy, you know, this whole year has come around, and, you know, I'm happy for where I've came, where I've started, how things have kind of been hurdles for me in my life, but I kept on chugging along. And I want to say that my mom's probably the biggest supporter in my life, just because she told me to keep on chugging along. And I don't think I could be where I am today without my mother telling me, just keep on chugging along. So even if you guys encounter any obstacles or anything that might be hard for you, just remember to just keep on chugging along.